Morning dear students, today we will start with the new topic, that is conductance and conductors. So first let's see what are the conductors. We all know that the substances which allow the passage of electric current through them are known as the electrical conductor, and which do not allow the passage of current through them are known as the insulators. Now let's see, the conductors are of two types, the metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. What are the metallic conductors? We know that the conductors which transfer the electric current by the flow of electron without any decomposition of a particular substance is known as a metallic conductor. So let's see, the conductors which transfer electric current by transfer of electron without decomposition of the substance, as we can say number of metals as copper, silver, aluminium, and non-metals as carbon and other alloys are the examples of metallic conductor. While what are the electrolytic conductors? Electrolytic conductors are those substances which transfer electric current by decomposition of substances. As we have seen in the electrolytic cells, the electrolytes like aqueous solution of salts, bases and acids are the conductors of electricity, while the non-electrolytes are the non-conductor of electricity. Now let's see, as we have seen here, that the flow of electricity is due to the flow of electron in it, but there is no flow of matter in the case. So we have written flow of electricity is due to the flow of electron and there is no flow of matter, while in this case what we have seen, it is due to the movement of ions, because decomposition of the substance is taking place. Electrolytes decomposition is taking place, that's why it is due to the movement of ion and there is the flow of matter. During the process, during the metallic conductance, there is no chemical change occurs in the metals, while here, because it is the responsibility of the electrons, flow of electron is responsible for the metallic conductor, that's why there is no chemical change taken place, while in this case, as we have seen, the substance is being decomposed. So as we have seen in case of electrolysis process, that the ions either oxidized or reduced at a particular electrode, that's why there is a chemical change possible here, as ions are either oxidized or reduced on electrolysis. Now let's see, when we increase the temperature, we see the difference of temperature in both the processes, that when we are increasing the temperature in case of metallic conductor, the conduction decreases. Why it is so? Because of the kernels start vibrating. What are the kernels? Kernels are the positively charged cations. You know, when the flow of electricity would be there in a metal, then the metal de-electronate, that's why number of positive ions, means cations, are produced. They are known as the kernels. When they start vibrating, they hinders the flow of electron into the metallic wire. If suppose we are talking about the metallic wire, the hindrance would be created in the way of the electron by that vibration of kernels. That's why the conduction decreases due to the increase in temperature. While in the case, in the electrolysis process, if we increase the temperature, the conduction would be increases. Why it is so? Because in the case, if we are increasing the temperature, there would be the decrease in the inter-ionic attraction. Whatever solution we are taking, there would be having a force of attraction between them. Both are oppositely charged ions. They are having the inter-ionic attraction between them. When we are increasing the temperature, that inter-ionic attraction would be decreased. That's why the movement of the ions towards the electrode would be increased. That's why the conduction would also be increased. What does it mean? There is the hindrance created due to the kernels, means the resistance in the metals is again due to the kernels that is vibrating. That's why the resistance in metal is due to the vibrating kernels. Kernels, as I have told you, that is the positively charged cations, while in this case, the cause of the resistance is the inter-ionic attraction as well as the viscosity of the solvent that we have taken. So here the resistance is due to the intra-ionic attraction and viscosity of the solvent. Now let's see the electrolytic conductance. So to know the electrolytic conductance, first we must be knowing the resistance. What is resistance? Students, you all must know the Ohm's law. You have studied in the physics. What is the Ohm's law? According to the Ohm's law, we may say that resistance is equal to the voltage applied upon current flow. We may say that R is equal to E upon I. That is the Ohm's law. And Ohm's law is applicable for the metallic conductor as well as electrolytic conductor. That's why what we are able to see here, that the resistance is inversely proportional to the current. The more the resistance, the less would be the current flow. Or we may say the less the resistance, the more would be the current flow. So now we can see what is the conductance. We know the conductance is the ease of flow of current. And if we have seen that both of them are having the inverse relationship, so we can also say that conductance is also reciprocal to the resistance. So as it is the ease with which the current flow through the electrolyte, because we are talking about the electrolytic conductance, not about the metallic conductance. So electrolytic conductance depends on the flow of ions towards the particular electrode. So the flow of electron is inversely proportional to the resistance. That's why we can say that the conductance is also reciprocal of the resistance. It can be denoted by C or G. Generally we denote it by G. That's why we may write G is equal to 1 upon R. And what we know, that the unit of R is ohm. That is ohm. That's why we may say that the unit of conductance is ohm inverse or mho or Siemens. The more common unit is Siemens. So ohm inverse, mho or Siemens are the unit of the conductance. If we write ohm, and if we study it from here MHO, that's why we may write ohm inverse to mho or Siemens. Now we have studied about conductance, about resistance. Let's see what is specific resistance or resistivity. Specific resistance or resistivity can be denoted by rho. This is the sign for the specific resistance. We know that resistance is directly proportional to length upon area. And if we remove the proportionality sign, that would be equal to rho L upon A. It means this rho is the specific resistance, and if we want to write rho, then rho would be equal to R into A upon L. Now let's see in the case of electrolytic solution what is L and what is A, because in case of metallic conductance, if we will talk about the length and area, so that is, suppose if it is we are talking about a wire, then the length of the wire would be L and the area of cross section of that wire is A. But here in the case, as we are studying the flow of electricity in a electrolytic solution, so the length is the length between these two electrodes is L, and area of cross section of a particular electrode is known as the area of cross section. And if suppose we said that the length of these inter electrode is 1 centimeter and area of cross section of electrode is 1 centimeter square, then the R would be equal to rho. Means the resistance would be equal to specific resistance. So we can give the definition as that the specific resistance of an electrolytic solution, electrolytic cell, is the resistance of 1 centimeter cube of a conductor. Because we said the length is 1 centimeter, the area of cross section is 1 centimeter square. It means volume would be 1 centimeter cube. So the specific resistance of an electrolytic solution that is having 1 centimeter cube of volume or 1 ml of volume would be equal to the resistance of that particular electrolytic solution. I think it must be clear to you, because now we are talking about the 1 ml of solution, because we have placed the length and area of cross section as 1 centimeter and 1 centimeter square. So that would be completely, we know that the volume is equal to area into length. That's why 1 centimeter square into 1 centimeter would be 1 centimeter cube, means 1 ml solution. So it is the specific resistance. Now let's see, we have studied the resistance, conductance, specific resistance. Now let's see specific conductance or the conductivity. As the specific resistance is known as the resistivity, that's why the specific conductance, in the similar manner we can say, that is conductivity, and it is denoted by this sign, seems to be like K, it is known as kappa. Let's see, as the conductance is reciprocal of resistance, in the similar manner the reciprocal of specific resistance or resistivity is known as the specific conductance or conductivity. In the similar manner as conductance is reciprocal to resistance, so the conductivity is reciprocal of resistivity. So we may write like this, kappa is equal to 1 upon rho. And what we know? We know that rho is equal to R into A upon L. So we may write here kappa is equal to 1 upon R. If we will place the value of rho is equal to R into A upon L, rho is equal to R into A upon L. That is that we have just studied. So if we will place the value of rho here, so that would be 1 upon rho, 1 upon R into L upon A. And to 1 upon R, as we said, the reciprocal of resistance is conductance, that is denoted by G. So I can write 1 upon R to the G, and L upon A is cell constant. L upon A क्या कहलाता है? Cell constant, and is denoted by G asterisk. So we can say kappa means specific conductance or conductivity is equal to conductance into cell constant. So the formula would be helpful in the different numericals. Specific conductance or the conductivity is equal to conductance into cell constant. So now we can define what is the conductivity or the specific conductance. So the conductance of 1 centimeter cube or 1 ml of an electrolytic solution is called its specific conductance. So what is conductance? We may say, what is specific conductance or conductivity? The specific conductance, as we are able to see, is equal to conductance into cell constant. Cell constant, in which we may say the 1 centimeter of length, 1 centimeter square of area of cross section, for it means for 1 ml solution. So the conductance of 1 ml of an electrolytic solution can be said as the specific conductance. And if we will calculate the unit in the case, so what would be the unit? The unit of conductance, as we have discussed, is either the ohm inverse, mho or Siemens. So we may write Siemens here. For the conductance, the unit of conductance is Siemens. As I have told you, that is more common, represented by capital S. And for the cell constant, we know that is L upon A. L means we are talking about a cell, so it would be very small length, that's why we denote it into centimeter, we measure it into centimeter. So centimeter upon centimeter square would be centimeter inverse. For the cell constant, it would be centimeter inverse. So Siemens centimeter inverse, or we may say that is mho, because Siemens can also be said as mho centimeter inverse, or ohm inverse centimeter inverse. Now let's see, as the electrolytic, in case of electrolytic solution, the concentration plays an important role. We are talking about for 1 ml of solution here only. In case of the electrolytic cell, as we are talking about a electrolyte, which concentration matters for the conductance of the electricity. That's why we will see the conductance in term of equivalent conductance as well as molar conductance. So let's see the molar conductance. What is a molar conductance? That can be denoted by lambda m. So if we are talking about the conductance of all the ions that are produced by 1 gram mole of the electrolyte in the solution is known as the molar conductance. Here we said the conductance of 1 centimeter cube of an electrolytic solution. Now we are saying that for any volume, if we are taking only 1 gram mole of an electrolyte, means the volume is not fixed. The volume is fixed in case of specific conductance, but here we are not fixing the volume, maybe VmL, but we are taking the 1 gram mole of the particular electrolyte. So for 1 gram mole of the electrolyte, the conductance of all the ions that are produced for this much mole, means 1 mole of solution having V volume, is known as the molar conductance or molar conductivity. So now it can be explained like this, that we know that specific conductance is for 1 ml of electrolyte. So the as conductance of 1 centimeter cube or 1 ml of electrolytic solution for 1 mole. Now we are writing here that we have taken 1 mole of electrolyte. In this particular cell, if we have taken 1 mole of electrolyte for 1 ml of solution, then the conductivity would be equal to kappa, because we said the conductance of 1 centimeter cube of electrolytic solution is known as the specific conductance, denoted by kappa. It means we can say for this case also, here we have taken 1 centimeter cube electrolytic solution for 1 mole. So that would be kappa, and that can also be said as molar conductivity, because the condition for the molar conductivity is 1 mole of an electrolyte that we have taken in Vml of volume. So it may be 1 ml also. And if suppose I said that 1 mole is dissolved in 2 ml of solution, in 3 ml of solution, in 4 ml of solution, in 5 ml of solution, what I have to do? I have to multiply the kappa with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever ml we have taken. Means I can say the conductance of dilute solution having V volume for 1 mole. Whatever volume we are to take in, we are to multiply it with kappa would be equal to the molar conductivity of that volume of solution. So lambda m would be equal to kappa into V. Now let's see, as we are talking about the 1 mole solution, and we know that molarity is equal to number of moles upon volume in liter. So the number of moles in the case we have taken 1 mole, we can place the value as 1 here, and what we are to take, we are to take in ml. That's why when we convert the volume in ml, we have to divide this volume to the 1000. That's why we may write 1000 upon V. With the help of this, we can calculate the volume in ml. So Vml would be equal to 1000 upon capital M. Capital M means molarity. So now by placing the value of volume as 1000 upon M, we have derived a formula, that is lambda m is equal to kappa into 1000 upon M. That is the molar conductivity in terms of molarity. So that would be helpful to calculate the different numericals when we have been given the molarity, the value of kappa, and we are to find out the lambda m. Now let's see the units. Units are very important. They are being asked in 1 mark questions in your board examination. That are very common and very simple also. If the concept is clear, you would be able to calculate yourself. What is kappa? Kappa's unit is ohm inverse, centimeter inverse. That we have just calculated. Kappa's unit is ohm inverse, centimeter inverse, and for the molarity, the unit is mole per liter, that we know well. And to the liter, we can also write centimeter cube. That's why mole per liter means mole per centimeter cube or mole centimeter minus 3. So that is centimeter inverse, that is centimeter minus 3, and it can be written as सेंटीमीटर इनवर्स टू सेंटीमीटर इनवर्स कैंसिल हो जाएगा, ये ऊपर जाएगा तो सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर. इट मीन्स ओम इनवर्स सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर मोल इनवर्स वुड बी द यूनिट ऑफ मोलर conductivity or molar conductance. And if we see the SI unit, so that would be Siemens meter square mole inverse. To the centimeter square we will write meter square, and to the ohm inverse we can write as Siemens, that we are familiar with. Now let's see, the last is the equivalent conductivity. So what is equivalent conductivity or equivalent conductance? So the conductance of all the ions produced by 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte is in solution is known as the equivalent conductance. Now we are talking about when we have taken the electrolyte as 1 gram equivalent. In place of 1 gram mole, we have taken 1 gram of equivalent, then it would be known as the equivalent conductance. That is the next concentration term that is related to the normality that we have studied in chapter 1. So we may say for 1 ml solution containing 1 gram equivalent, the conductance we say is equal to kappa, because kappa is also the conductance of 1 ml of solution, and that is also the equivalent conductivity, because the condition for equivalent conductivity is 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte. That's why both are equal in the case. But in this case, in the equivalent conductance, we have not fixed the volume as 1 ml, 1 centimeter cube. That's why we may say for V ml of solution containing 1 gram of equivalent, the formula would be conductance is equal to kappa into V. That would be the equivalent conductivity. So that in the equivalent conductivity, the volume is not fixed, but the 1 gram equivalent of the electrolyte is fixed. That's why we may say if we have taken 1 gram equivalent in V ml of solution, now the equivalent conductivity would be equal to kappa into V again. Now we know that normality is number of gram equivalent in a liter solution. As we are to place the value of V in ml, that's why it is to be converted into ml again. So that would be 1 gram equivalent V into ml divided by 1000. So the value of normality is equal to 1000 upon V ml, or the value of V, as we are to calculate, we are to place the value of V here, would be equal to 1000 upon normality. So equivalent conductivity is equal to kappa into 1000 upon N. And now we can again calculate the unit as, the kappa's unit is ohm inverse centimeter inverse, the normality's unit is gram equivalent liter inverse or gram equivalent centimeter minus 3, or ohm inverse centimeter square gram equivalent inverse. To the ohm inverse we may say Siemens centimeter square would be in meter square in SI unit. So Siemens meter square gram equivalent inverse are the units for the cases. To solve the number of numericals, we must consider the units, because all the units must be same when we are solving the questions. So we have to convert it, and if we have given the normality, we can calculate the equivalent conductivity easily. So dear students, read it carefully, try to understand. If there is any problem, you can ask. And tomorrow we will discuss the number of numericals based on this. Thank you.